time for another episode of the 12-Man Fan Jam Show. A show made by 12s from around the world, for 12s from around the world. I'm Mosette, and here's your host, and my dad, the self-appointed Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Allen Church of Seahawk Positivity.
Yes! Welcome everyone to special 1108 edition of your 12-Man Fan Jam Show as your Seattle Seahawks get ready to take on the New York Giants on Monday Night Football. So grab a desired sin or beverage of your choice. Put your tray table up and put your chair in the full upright position. Put your arms and legs inside the podcast at all times. I kept it together. What can I tell you? We're going back to the scene of the crime in Super Bowl 48. You gotta love that. Our home away from home. With us, of course, is the 12-Man Fan Jam Show posse. Over there is Dustin. Hi, Dustin.
Hey, how's it going? How you guys doing?
Good. How you been?
Good. Doing real well. Started my my first full week at my job this week.
Yeah.
So,
good.
yeah, went
Everything
really
going
well. Yeah, day number one didn't go so well, but the rest of it did. So day one, I was there for about an hour, and a crown popped off in my mouth. So I ended up having to go to the dentist on the first full day of work. I had to leave and go get it reattached and everything. So
and they're going, day two, what's going to happen? What's he going to do day two?
Yeah. How's he going to get out of work today?
Man,
that was elaborate.
I'm on workman's comp for the next 10 years now, so you gotta pay me. No.
Yep, there you go.
And now they're returning to the scene of the crime is Matt from merry old England. Hi, Matt.
Good morning, Moses. How are you?
Wonderful. Good morning. Great to see you again, my friend.
Thank you very much. I have been overjoyed to see photos emerge of good friend of the show, Mr. Aaron Rodgers, as he was leaving a workout in Los Angeles this week following his Achilles. I think it was Achilles, wasn't it? Tendon operation. So all of us on the show wish Aaron Rodgers a very full and swift recovery from that. It seems as well, actually, that if he's cleared to fly, he will be at the Chiefs game this week as they play the Jets. Although I'm not sure whether he's there to enjoy the game or because Aaron heard that the Chiefs games are apparently where you go if you want to pull a tight end to sleep with.
It could be.
There it is, and we're off.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, and we're off. Well, thanks for keeping us updated on Aaron Rodgers, Matt. Even though he's injured, he is still in our hearts.
Always.
And that over there is Little Mo. Hi, Little Mo. How are you?
How's it going? I'm watching the Reds, giving up home runs.
Yes, because when we do a podcast, we do other things like watch baseball. That seems to be, like
it's
watching
about to be playoff time, baby.
It is. Is anybody with you there, Little Mo, or they all run off? All the dogs run off?
Come up here. Come on.
Is dude coming up?
Here. Yeah.
Okay, not the puke on him. There's dude.
Oh,
big sweetie. Dude, hi, dude. All right.
Say hi.
Yeah, hi, dude.
He doesn't want to be here.
That's okay. Him and everyone watching this, but we'll move on. Hey, we have a great show coming up. We've got a lot of surprises coming up. It's going to be a really great show. Before we do that, we'd like to tell you how this show is run. Yes, 12-Man Fan Jam Show format. We run this show just like a real NFL game. We have 4 quarters and a halftime. If you've never watched this show before, welcome. Our first quarter, we are going to go through news. Will is not here, our news hound, but I do have a couple short news stories and some other news interesting stuff and a caption that picture, which we haven't done in a long time, but should be a lot of fun at the end of the first quarter. Then second quarter, we're going to talk about that victory over those Panthers last week, 37-27 in Seattle. The Seahawks go to 2-1. We'll dissect that game, go through our posse prediction challenge. Of course, halftime is the best Seahawk-themed trivia game on the internet. Of course, I refer to 12-Man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia.
Of the world.
Last week's winner. Does anybody know?
Will.
I think it was Will. Yeah,
Will, I think. It wasn't me.
It was Will. It was not Matt. So, once again, 200. And we've lost Little Mo. So we go to the second half. We'll talk all about that Giants game on Monday Night Football. We'll get you set up with injury reports. We'll have a weather and fashion report. We'll have a sermon of Seahawk positivity. We'll have a special meal, food that has to do with the game coming up. And we'll put all that together and we'll make our prognostications, predictions, and game balls for that game between your Seattle Seahawks and the New York Giants on Monday Night Football. But before we do all of that, we love go back and we like to remind you that you can find us all over the interwebs, as they like to call it. We have a great Facebook page, 12-Man Fan Jam Show. Join us. We have a great game day thread on there. And Little Mo is going in circles. We're also on what used to be Twitter at 12-Man Fan Jam Show. YouTube, Seahawk Positivity YouTube channel. It's almost going like this is like Little Mo's part of this. Email at 12manfanjamshow@gmail.com. And of course, we're on TikTok. Some highlights of the shows from the past few weeks is on there as well. We are Seahawk Positivity Production. And now it's time to look at the news. Yes, news. 12-Man Fan Jam Show news report, usually brought to you by our news hound Will, but since he's not here, I have found some interesting news stories. And so my first news story is, hey, let's take some time and celebrate how terrible the Broncos are, shall we? The Broncos are 0-3, and they just give up 70 points and 700 yards in a game of an offense by the Miami Dolphins. Nobody done that since 1951. But here's the funny thing. We can talk about how bad the Broncos are, but here's what's worse. They're playing the Bears this Sunday in Chicago.
Whoa.
And the Broncos are favored by 3.5 points. Now, let's put this in perspective.
Wow.
Bears at home, probably going to get 2.5, 3 points based on that alone.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They're still 3.5 point underdogs at home to a team that gave up 700 yards of offense and 70 points last week.
And lost by 50.
700 yards, golly.
So when you think you have it bad.
And they didn't even have Jalen Waddle, by the way.
They didn't even have Jalen Waddle. You're right. They didn't even have Jalen Waddle, who's one of the best receivers in football. They're still better than the Bears by a touchdown. So, when you think things are bad, you could be a Bears fan. And I have a lot of Bears fans that I work at. I work at northeastern Indianapolis, and so before the Indianapolis Colts came to town, a lot of people on that side of Indianapolis were Bears fans because that was by Chicago. So a lot of them have, kind of kept with the Bears, and they're not very talkative this week.
I bet not. His eyes down.
No, the next story I want to share because I think that Little Mo's going to have something to say about this because he's talked about this before. It's MVP, NFL MVP. The Texans tweeted back in 2014 that J.J. Watt should have been MVP. It's a defensive lineman. Now, here, let me tell you his stats for that year. He had 5 touchdowns, 3 of them receiving. He had 20 and a half sacks, 79 tackles from interior line, 20 sacks, 29 tackles for a loss. 5 fumble recoveries, 1 interception return for a touchdown, and he forced a safety. Now, that's a pretty amazing year, right?
Yeah.
And so the Texans are like, he should have been MVP instead of, I think it was Aaron Rodgers off the top of my head, ironically.
2014, it was Aaron Rodgers.
But
you would know, Matt.
Here's what J.J. Watt replied, and I'm saying this because Little Mo and I have had this discussion about MVP, and this is what J.J. Watt says. He says, and I quote, "The honest truth is, it's physically impossible for any one player to be more valuable than the quarterback. They touch the ball every play. A quarterback should always win MVP. Best player and MVP are often, but not always the same." So I know Little Mo and I have talked about this because last year you thought Justin Jefferson should have got more at least
votes, not
more of a notice because of his year. And so he and I have had this talk many times. So Little Mo, how do you feel about what J.J. Watt said, where it has to be a quarterback every time?
Well, I don't see where he's coming from, but if you look at most valuable position, for example, if last year you took Justin Jefferson off that Vikings team, they're going to win 3 games. I mean, they're not going to be a good team. By definition of most valuable player, I think there's been many most valuable players that haven't been quarterbacks for teams.
Yeah, we had one in Seattle back in 04? 05, something like that. Sean Alexander was the MVP.
You know, that year, I'm going to let Matt talk here in a minute, but that year, I've always said Sean Alexander was without question the MVP of the league, but Matt Hasselbeck was the MVP of that team. I've always felt that way. Matt, what are your thoughts about what you said?
I just don't think it's right to try and compare offense and defense. I just don't think the two are the same team. They're not. It's not the same game. Almost, it's completely different. The rules are entirely stacked in the favor of offense by a factor of getting bigger every year. It would be make much more sense. And of course, you won't do this because it makes sense. But effectively, what they should do is have a offensive player of the year, which could be a quarterback every single year if you wanted to be, a defensive player of the year. And that's it. Just that those are the two MVPs of the league. One offense, one defense. I'm afraid special teams you'll never get a look in. And kickers should never be the most valuable team. And if they are, it's just because the rest of your team was shite. So quite frankly, it should be an offensive player of the year, a defensive player of the year, crown two of them, sell double the number of shirts. I can't believe the NFL haven't done it already.
Well, you know, it's funny because the kicker was MVP one year, 83, I think it was, when the Redskins went to the Super Bowl. Their kicker mostly was.
What'd you say?
They were the Redskins in 83.
Can't believe
say that.
Canceled.
That's what they were in 83.
Roll in the cancel. You're canceled. Roll it in.
I've triggered my son.
Shut down the channel. It's over.
That team from Washington, the MVP for the NFL was the kicker, and it was Mosley. Which again, how can a kicker be MVP? But these stats of J.J. Watt, I mean, 5 touchdowns, 5 fumble recoveries, 20 sacks, 29 tackles for loss, a safety, an interception. Wow. What more could he have done?
Or like Aaron Donald for the last couple of years. I feel like, for the Rams should get votes at least, just how dominant he's been on defense.
Absolutely.
And we always say defense wins championships. Well, then why don't they win MVPs?
They win MVPs.
True. Dustin, what are your thoughts on this?
I don't really agree with Watt. And I think it's really hard to have a better season as a defensive player than what he had that year as a lineman anyways.
Yeah.
Obviously, safeties or defensive backs could potentially have a more impactful year with turnovers than a defensive lineman can, but I mean, that's super impressive. And
it is.
Yeah. I don't think it has to be a quarterback, to be honest.
Okay.
It's never going to be an offensive lineman. It's rarely going to be a wide receiver, but a player like a running back can have an impact. The defensive end can have a huge impact. Corners can have a huge impact. It's not just the quarterback. The quarterback might touch the ball the most, but they're not necessarily going to have the largest impact on a game unless they're either throwing touchdowns or interceptions. It's either good or bad.
Well, and that being said, we've kind of removed quarterback from our game ball because he does touch the ball every time. And, quarterback throws for 300 yards. You can kind of pick him every time. What doesn't surprise me about this story is J.J. Watt's attitude, which is, again, you know what? It should be the quarterbacks. I shouldn't have won it. That J.J. Watt is just such a great guy. I totally can. That doesn't surprise me at all that he would say something, at least like, well, Aaron deserved it and I didn't that year, which is totally J.J. Watt kind of guy he is. But, But I don't know. I kind of think that I look at his stats and I'm like, what more could he have done to be valuable to his team? So
did they go to playoffs that year?
I believe so. Yes.
Okay, that's another thing.
Yeah. Right.
Took his team to playoffs.
How well did they do? Right. So those are my 2 news stories. Now, before we go to something really fun, I'm looking forward to. I want to share a personal moment here. Now, when the season started, I had mentioned that my fantasy football team, the Hamdingers. that Yahoo told me that they were awful and terrible and I should basically kill myself because my team will never win a game. They go 0-12-2 and I'm never going to win a game. Well, folks, last week, guess who won his fantasy team game?
Your opponent?
So, on behalf of my team, the Hamdingers, I'd like to say to Yahoo Sports, suck it, Yahoo. So
Yahoo.
Yeah.
Who are your MVPs? You gotta get MVP trophies out. You gotta say thank you to the players.
I gotta thank Stephon Diggs. I gotta thank Jalen Hurts. I gotta thank DeAndre Swift. This is a team that's not gonna win any games. Dicker the kicker. Gotta thank Dicker the kicker. And George Kittle. And George Kittle, my tight end. I think that was just about everybody.
Your tight end?
Kittle, my tight end.
He does a lot of squats.
Anyway, now it's time to do something we haven't done in a long time. a thing that we used to do on our show years ago that we're bringing back for this episode, and there's a reason, and it's time for something called Caption That Picture.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
What is going on here?
Now, to clarify, there's a reason why we haven't done it in a long time, or a reason why we're doing it again.
There's a reason we haven't done it is because, yeah. Well, that's it. There's a reason why we're doing it now, Dustin.
Oh, okay.
It's because of what happened during the broadcast last week. Now, if you watch the broadcast on TV, the broadcasters understandably had a great time with DJ Dallas's picture that he took for, when they put a picture of the guys up and, the little stats about them or whatever.
They said he said that and leaned in.
He leaned forward on purpose, and he gave us this masterpiece, which is just beautiful. So when I saw that, I'm like, we have to say, what is going on here? What is happening? Yeah. So, Little Mo, you want to go first with one of your caption that picture? What's going on with this picture, DJ Dallas?
Am I going with one or am I going with both?
Go with one.
Well, when Jason Myers makes 4 field goals.
Of course.
What? Yeah, we're at it. Dustin, what do you got?
You saw the Broncos Dolphins score.
Yeah.
Here's one I said. When she asks you if she's getting fat, because you have no way out of that. Matt, any clues here? What's going on?
I would say he's doing his best Adam Gase's impression, isn't he, from the Jets?
Nice. Little Mo, what's going on here? What's going on?
Home run. Sorry.
Home run. That's what.
Okay.
No, what's going on here?
When you are the only thing between Aaron Donald and your quarterback.
Aaron's going to blitz. You're like, oh no. Dustin, what about you?
I saw Will's browser history.
And he can't defend himself.
I said when your Tinder date actually looks like their profile pic, which that never happens.
Yeah.
Matt, anything else there, buddy?
I would just say NFL shirts cost how much these days?
Yeah.
Dustin, what you got?
He finally saw that OnlyFans he started.
I said when your proctologist asks you if you are free for dinner this weekend during an exam. And he's, back there and you're like, oh, okay.
You tied in.
And finally, Are there any more before I finish up?
I would say,
No.
actually taking that OnlyFans one, that OnlyFans is not a site for just autographs.
Yeah.
And finally, when she asks you if her hot female roommate can join you too. So there's.
Maybe it should have been your browser history.
Should have been my browser history.
It's when you get the phone call from Earl Thomas to say, "Do you want to come round for a?"
Right.
You're not going to finish that.
Snapchat alert from Earl Thomas.
That's just wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, Will had one. Will said, JP Crawford said what on the air, which is what Dustin and I were talking about earlier.
Yeah. Yep.
Little Mariners joke there for you. So we'll finish with that.
Nice.
And we'll finish with the end of the first quarter.
That's the end of the first quarter, bitches.
All right, we have a lot of fun ahead of us. We're going to talk about the Giants. We're going to have a sermon. We're going to have injuries. We're going to have fashion, weather, all kinds of fun stuff. We're going to play the Madden version of that game. But before we do all that, we want to look back on last week's win against those Carolina Panthers. So we'll be right back after this. Remember, 60% of the time, it works every time.
You are watching the 12-Man Fan Jam Show, a Seahawk Positivity production.
That's the fact, Jack!
It's the second quarter.
All right, we are back to the second quarter of episode 1108 of your 12-Man Fan Jam Show Giants Monday Night Edition. And before we go to all Giants all the time, we want to look back last week on the victory at home the Seahawks had against the Panthers, 27-37, going to 2-1. Maddie, what were your thoughts about the Panthers game?
Well, we won, and my sister
All right.
didn't. Woohoo!
Yay! That's a big deal.
That's a big deal
Big
in
deal.
England. Big deal in
Yes,
England.
yes.
What I would say, it's definitely a game of two halves. I think our first half is just awful. Let's take a good thing and a bad thing. I think the good thing is our run defense kind of seems to have found a little bit of itself. Certainly managed to stop them getting over 200 yards on us like they did last time. So I'll take the 44 yards as a reasonable effort. So that's my positive. My negative is that I am getting thoroughly sick and tired of third downs just being a complete trash for us. Our third down conversion rate is under 30%. It's 23%. That is just not in any way, shape, or enough good enough.
No.
That needs some serious coaching, some serious work going
I
on.
believe we started 0-8. 0 for 8, I believe something like that.
I believe we did. And it's just it becomes such a thing though that that you just know you get to third downs, you think to yourself, well, that's kind of it. And the trouble is, their third down conversion rates were actually quite good, and we actually made Andy Dalton look reasonably competent through some of those, and that's a concern for me when we start making quarterbacks like Andy Dalton and Matt Stafford and others look competent, because they shouldn't be. But in any event, I think the run defense did well. Game of two halves. Glad we won. I get bragging rights for another year. Woohoo!
Which is really what it's all about.
It's all about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Dustin, some things you noticed?
Yeah, third down was pretty bad, but that being said, we still won the time of possession battle. So I guess the key to the games for the Seahawks in the future are going to be don't get to third down.
Yeah, that worked.
That'll do.
Yeah. Running game was good. I think we had close to 150 yards.
Yes.
Gino threw for almost 300. Offensively, we looked pretty good. Defensively, the run defense, like Matt was saying, kind of held it down a little bit, with the 44 yards. And considering how terrible we were last year at run defense, I mean, that's a positive sign.
And that third straight game, we've really kind of helped where the running it's kind of a habit now. Yeah,
which is great. And then it's, fun to watch the plays get made and fun to watch the guys out there having fun. And overall, I think it was a good quality win as far as overall stats, but we need to put it together in both halves moving forward, especially when we're going to play the good teams. You got to be able to play both halves.
Yes, absolutely. I agree. I know I talked to Lil Mo, 37 points is pretty good. Would have been 43 if I'm not mistaken, Little Mo, if somebody had made some field goals. Am I right?
Yeah, every day.
What did we miss, Little Mo?
But guys, Jake Bobo scored a touchdown.
Bobo scored a touchdown. How great is that?
Yep, pretty cool.
Bobo, son of Coco and Chim Ching, made a touchdown. Sorry.
No, but
made a touchdown. Nobody gets that, and Will's the only one who gets that. He's not here. So go ahead, Lil Mo. Sorry.
I think K9 looks really good. The tackles, they looked worse than last week, but didn't look terrible for backup tackles against. No, it wasn't good, but
wasn't good. But
finishing drives and not settling for field goals.
Yes,
that'd be huge.
Huge.
Inside the red zone or inside of 20. Getting a touchdown, not a field goal.
We did get a beast mode-esque moment too, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, the running game, Charbonnet and Walker both look impressive. I love both of them.
That Carbonnet guy can run.
Yeah, Carbonnet.
Let me tell you
that Charbonnet guy, he can run.
That Carbonnet man can run.
Yes, he can, and they both look great.
The way he threw that Panther on the sideline, yards backwards, that was awesome.
I think somebody on this show last week said if we could just emphasize the run game a little bit more. It seems like we were giving up on the run game a lot. That was me. I said that. But I thought the run game's been effective in all three games. We completely left it in the Rams game, and then last week against the Lions, we kind of also did that. But then this week, we have over 30 rushes. We're going to pound that rock, and that's what this team's built. And when you get Walker, well, I told Jacob it's funny because I said I'd like to see him get Walker more out in space. And then that next drive was when they set the swing pass to him where he got about 9 yards. I like to see them kind of use him more like that.
That Wildcat with DJ Dallas is interesting.
and not ineffective, to be honest.
The effectiveness of it, I think that's a quality point there, because it's not necessarily the volume of runs that you get, it's how effective they are when you run.
Yeah.
So, you might not get the yardage on the field, but if on those third downs, say it's 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1, and you're getting the yardage, you're not going to run for a huge amount, but you're being effective with the run game and you're making use of it and extending drives. So I think if they can find ways to do that better, that's going to help the third down conversion.
Yes.
And we might have that battering ram might be better to use than Walker in those short distance situations too. Cause man, that dude runs hard.
Well, and then like you said, I mean, just DJ Dallas in general being out there, being part of it as well. Just a really good running attack that I think we can lean on.
They had a few of them where they had 3 running backs out there, which was
interesting. They did.
And I think also on the receiving side, I think DK really made his presence felt
yes
there, and that's important. And he didn't act like a toddler or a child at any point and have any stupid moments, which is also good. I do think that rookies are having, I think Witherspoon and others, I think rookies are having rookie moments, which is fine. That's what they're entitled to have that. If Witherspoon could not, and I saw this stat on Twitter that he's been flagged in every single game on a third down, which has resulted in a touchdown. If he could just not do that, that would be awesome.
That being said, that kid is special.
Some of it I wouldn't even put on him. I mean, the one where he was planted in space, the receiver ran into him. I mean, come on.
I get that.
But he's going to have those. Those are growing pains. I'll take that over the other place I saw.
The rookie corner.
Rookies are allowed to make mistakes. I always say that rookies are always allowed to make mistakes.
He's special. He's clearly showing why he was a top 5 pick, I think, already.
No more mistakes after game 13, because then it's like his full college season is over.
I mean,
that's it, Devon.
I don't want to sort of rehash the Rams game, but I do wonder again, looking back at it, whether or not really that was just they weren't prepared. And I think the difference is they're getting more prepared as they're going on. I think they should have been playing. I reiterate what I said actually after that game. They should have been playing in the preseason in that final game. They should have been playing. They did not look right. They did not look ready. So I blame this actually on coaching now more than anything at all. Certainly the talent is there. Certainly the talent is there in the team. We can see that now. However, it just needs a little bit more development, and it's about a week behind where we want it to be.
Yeah.
Now we're 3 games in a row with 30+ points, I think, and who would have guessed that after week 1?
Yeah,
totally.
My favorite thing that I saw from this was the play where they have the 2 tight ends like pulling guards lined up in the backfield, and then they just it's like 2 pulling guards, and then Walker or Charbonnet can pick where they want to go, and Walker's a very patient runner, so he lets things develop, and then he shoots through a hole for 6 or 7. I love that play. That's one of my favorite plays where they just brought those 2 tight ends and said, okay, you guys are pulling guards now, and you're already pulled, and just go. Yeah. And I love that play. I think it's a wonderful play. Whoever came up with that, if it was Waldron or whoever they got that from.
It was me.
Yeah, I figured it was us. Maybe we said it was us.
Totally us.
But I love that play. Overall, good win for the Seahawks. There were mistakes, third down. There are a lot of things to work on.
Always.
But we'll take it 2-1 going into New York. I think
just finishing drives. Just finishing drives.
I guarantee you that's going to be an emphasis for them the rest of the season.
I'm sure
they're going to be focusing on that.
And I will say I do think Gino had an okay game. I think he was reaching a little bit too hard in some of those spaces. Certainly around the interception. In fact, I think I saw in our chat, and actually just to remind everyone out there, we do have a game day chat, so do come along and sign into that on a game day.
A lot of fun.
Fun. But in that game day chat, even we were saying he was flirting with an interception all the way through that drive.
He was.
All of a sudden throws one. So I think he was overreaching himself a little bit in there.
He was. But again, a good solid game by him, really, overall. And a good solid game by the Seahawks.
I'm pretty sure I said that about the flirty with the interception. I just want to throw that out there.
I think it was Dustin.
I say a lot of smart things. Just
it's not very often.
Little man,
it's primarily in this space.
Any minute now, a crown will pop off and he'll have to leave.
Go back to dental.
Go back to the tree where he can make the Keebler cookies, but we won't go there now. That being said, let's see how we did with this game on our Posse Prediction Challenge. Posse Prediction Challenge from last week. Let's see how we all did on our predictions. Score, Chris said a 10-point win for Seattle, so he gets 2 points for that. 27-17, 37-27. That's pretty good. So I had to give him that one. Prognostications, everybody did well. Seattle did have 3 sacks, so everyone got that.
It was so close.
I know. Walker had 97 yards, so not quite where we wanted to be. The game balls, I gave one to Metcalf. I didn't give it to Chris. I don't know why. I'll have to change that. Chris, I will add a point to your score. I don't know why I didn't do that.
He hates you.
I gave Witherspoon. He had 11 tackles, and he had a good game. I'm giving it to him. Walker had a great game as well. JSN and Lockett had decent games. Nwosu only had like a couple tackles, so I can't give it to him. So I owe Chris a point, but we'll talk about that later. The over and under was over. So everybody on our team but Maddie and Mike, Chris, Jimmy, and Becky, everyone got a point this week. As we look at that, Chris with 6. He had 5, but he had 6. Jimmy with 3. And look who's at the bottom. It's Little Mo. We got a point.
You're shooting points at me, midget. What are you talking about?
Oh, ouch. And overall, I think the term is little people. And
my bad.
The overall score. Cancel. Overall scores go like this. Chris with 8.
Oh.
Chris with 8 now. Saturday Mark with 6. Jimmy 6. Mike 5. Andy, Becky 4. Dustin, Will, Jose, Moses 3. Maddie with 2. And Little Mo's got everyone's got a point.
I am not last.
Nice.
For now. However, if you look at that score, you'll see. Let's see. That's us there, and then we don't show up until way down here.
Yeah, we don't show up.
So the team scores are not where we want them because Team 12 has 29 points and
plus 1, right?
30, and we have 19. So yeah,
slowly.
I'll only panic when it gets to a Broncos Miami score level. Then I'll panic.
That'll be after next week. But,
yeah, they're up by 50.
We're down by 10. So let's get ready for that by going to halftime.
Holy shit, it's halftime!
All right, we have a lot more coming up now. It's all about the Giants and the Seahawks. We've got a Madden game. We've got an injury report. We got weather. We got fashion. We got sermons. We got predictions. All kinds of. We got food
and alcohol.
We got food and alcohol coming up. But before that, it's the best Seahawk-themed trivia game on the internet. 12-man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia
of the world.
And that will be right after this.
You are watching the 12-man Fan Jam Show, a Seahawk Positivity production.
If there's a better use for the internet, I haven't found it.
Yes, welcome to America's favorite Seahawk-themed trivia game on the internet. 12-man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia
of the world.
The game that challenges the posse and the listeners and watchers of this very podcast with their knowledge of all things Seahawks and otherwise. Our contestants are Matt, Dustin, and Little Mo. And here's how you play the show. There are 2 rounds of questions. Each question is worth a point. During those 2 rounds, you can one time ask to remove one of the options. And then after that, there will be a special final question worth 2 points. If there's a tie after that, those who are tied will go into the special secret overtime. Matt's doing our sign language for this. Yeah. Closed caption by Matt. Overtime, where the winner will be crowned 12-man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia champion of this episode and of the world. So Will won last week, and Will is not with us. So we'll have Matt. Matt, you get to pick 1, 2, or 3.
2, please.
All right. Dustin, 1 or 3?
1.
All right, and that means Little Mo, you get
3.
Question 3. All right, here we go. Dustin, there's only one question in both rounds that is kind of a non-football question out of the 6, so you don't have to worry about it once. Dustin, it's not you.
Woo!
The first time the Seahawks beat the Giants was back in 1983. And so my question to you is, how many turnovers did the Giants have in that game? 4, 5, or 6?
4.
Positivity.
4. 5. Sorry. Yeah, 5. That's right. Matt.
Hello.
You have the non-football question.
Oh,
tell me it's a university question.
No, New Jersey. Jersey. Giants playing New Jersey.
Yeah, not New York.
New Jersey is known. Baby. What's New Jersey known as? Is it the diner capital of the world, the drive-in capital of the world, or the market capital of the world?
I thought it was Brick City or the Garden State.
I actually thought it was the shithole capital of the world, but okay.
The mafia capital of the world. Forget about it.
Well, it's full of roads, isn't it? I mean, okay, so it is full of roads because they always joke about that, like the New Jersey Turnpikes. So I will go for the drive-in capital of the world.
Little Mo's cheating. Drive-in capital of the world.
Well, I just said because what he was. I don't know if that's the right answer. I'm just saying because he was talking about driving.
It's not. It's the diner capital of the world. Yeah.
Well, you could be the capital of worse things, I suppose.
Yeah, diner.
Yeah.
Well, it's not the 1800s.
No.
You don't want to call it diners no more.
No, I didn't call it that. That's what New Jersey's known as. Don't blame me. I don't live there. Little Mo. When the Seahawks played the Giants in 2011, how many turnovers did Giants have in that game? 4, 5, or 6?
Positivity.
4.
Now it's 5 also.
Well,
We're off to a great start. It's a dumb off.
Woo!
0-0-0.
This is why we can't have nice things, people.
Pretty much.
This is why we can't have nice things.
Will would have got it right.
Yeah, Matt, 4, 5, or 6.
I'm going to stick with 5.
Oh no!
Because the second one has done so good for me.
Yeah, these are all giant football, Seahawks Giants questions. Dustin, 4 or 6?
4.
Well, look at that. You guys,
I want 6. Is that okay?
Yeah, you got 6.
You can have it.
Dustin.
Yeah.
Seahawks. Oh, sorry. Seahawks played the Giants in 2017. How many touchdowns did Russell Wilson throw in that game? 1, 2, or 3?
Gone. It would have been amazing, wouldn't he? Come on.
Will would know this.
Hopefully 3. I'm gonna go 3.
What are you looking at up there? What's up there?
I love that. The positivity.
I was thinking. I'm kind of watching the Mariners warm-ups.
Oh, okay. Because if you're looking for Russell, you do this. You'd look down. But
Maybe not for Dustin.
Yeah.
Not for Dustin.
Yeah.
He's a little fella. You said 3. Yes. Dustin is on the board.
That's not
Will would have been like, well, it happened in this quarter, in this quarter, in this quarter. To this guy.
And
I know,
it was Will's 38th birthday.
Yeah.
Right. Matt, Seahawks shut out the Giants in 2013. How many points did the Seahawks score? 21, 23, or 24?
Ooh.
I want to say 24, being positive.
I'll be in positive 24. That's 23.
Oh,
So.
God.
How do you score 23?
What a loser. Who didn't
Yeah.
know that? I can say that now. I have a point.
That's true.
Actually, so I remember because on the mic'd up version of the Super Bowl, the guy that was doing the markers said to one of the players or the coaches, hey, I was here when you guys came in here a couple months ago and shot out the Giants 23-0 because he was doing the marker. It was kind of funny. They were all laughing about it.
That's right. They had like a preview of what it'd be like. That's right. Yeah.
Little Mo. The Seahawks played the Giants in 76. You remember 1976?
Yep. My favorite year. I love it.
How many turnovers did the Giants have in that game? 4, 5, or 6?
Take one away.
I'm going to take 6, 4, 5.
It's been 5 every time. 5.
It's been 5 every time. Wouldn't it be funny if it was 5 again?
Yeah.
It's not. It's 4.
I don't want to be. I quit.
Well, don't quit yet because even though Justin has a point and Matt and Lomo have no point, it is time for the final question. Final question is a number. The closest lookout going over gets 2 points, and there will be a champion. There will be no overtime. So the order will go Little Mo first, Matt second, Dustin
fantastic.
Third. And here is your question. I'm going back that wonderful game that the Seahawks had. We didn't talk about this during the Panthers game, but we had a lot of false starts. 8 of them, I believe, against the Panthers.
Oh, how many?
So you remember in
that was brilliant, by the way.
Remember in 2005, the Giants had 1 million, right?
Yeah,
they did.
So here's what I want to know. I want to know how many total penalty yards they had in that game against the Seahawks. So it could be other stuff too, but all together.
Dustin is math. Oh God.
How many penalty yards did the Giants have in that game?
So I know how many false starts it was.
I do too.
Yeah.
It was 11 or 12?
Stop
11.
talking.
Sorry.
11.
Yeah, Little Mo, what you got? Little Mo, give us a number. What you got? Set the table. Set the table for Matt. That's what Matt wants you to do. Set the table.
I remember Shockey thinking they won too, and then it was a Vanderjack.
Shockey did, and so did Strahan. Strahan celebrated one of those misses,
84.
Little Mo says 84. The table is set, Matt. What are you going with?
What's a good table?
Sturdy.
Oh, tables are sturdy.
Yeah.
Good table.
Little Mo makes a steady table.
They would have had some other penalties in there as well, so let's think about that. So we would carry the 1. So I would say, let's go for. What did you say, Lil Mo?
84. Sorry.
I'm gonna go for. I'm gonna go for 85.
85. 84, 85, Dustin.
Do it, Dustin.
Now,
Do
correct me if I'm wrong, but
No,
a false start penalty is 10 yards, correct?
Ten
it's
yards.
106, I think.
It's
And
5,
they had-
dude. It's 5.
Oh, it's 5?
it. 5
Yeah.
yard penalty.
See, that's why you watch 12-Man Fan Jam show. We know our stuff.
We know our.
Yeah.
We know our gish. We know what's going on.
So it's 20 yards for a false start.
Although
No,
I
it's
wish.
5.
I wish you'd. I wish you'd have said. I wish you hadn't have said anything because he would have then gone like 100 and something yards.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Straight off the bat.
You
'Cause
could've.
he's simple math.
84 and 85, Dustin, is where we're at.
But now he's at
I'll-
55 and he's thinking, oh, now crap.
I'll give him some leeway. I'll say 90 yards.
90.
Uh,
Wow, you all are jerks. The amount of yards. The amount of yards of penalties they had in that game on top of all the 5-yard penalties for false start. 114.
Woo!
Dustin, you are 12-Man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia champion of the world. in
Of
this
the
episode.
world.
Congratulations.
Of the world. Thank you.
Little Mo
thank
has
you.
passed out. Apparently, Little Mo, are you dead?
no,
I'd
he's
like to
waiting-
thank
Oh,
Little Mo for
hey,
being off on his
okay.
guest.
He's here. He's here. All right.
He's waiting for the food and alcohol.
Dustin,
Yeah.
congratulations.
Yeah.
Well done.
The alcohol
Um,
specifically.
114 yards. The next question would be how many penalty yards the Seahawks had in that game, and we only had 65. So,
That's
I
a
was
lot.
about to say
still.
60.
but yeah, that was an amazing. I'll never forget that game. All the missed field goals. In fact, I think Saturday Night Live actually did a skit about the missed field goals that Saturday.
They did.
Jason
yeah.
Miles
they
wasn't
did.
playing.
Ah!
No.
No.
I think the Giants kicker, who was it, Vanderjet?
It was
or
Jay Feely.
Vander-
It was Jay
Oh,
Feely.
Jay Feely.
Feely.
Feely, that's right.
Who
Feely.
does it now, like on TV and stuff. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
and they
we're
made fun
impressed.
of him on South Park, I want to say, too.
Probably.
Yeah.
But this has been another stomach churning, award-winning, freezer defrosting,
Ingrown
Toe-
toenail growing,
toe stubbing,
Yeah.
Knee
finger
exploding.
waving,
beard shaving,
Bronco defeating
back
Episode.
Huckleberry.
of your 12-Man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia
Of the world.
world.
of the world.
Achilles tearing.
Achilles Terry. Coming up next,
Pimple
tight
popping.
end dating. We'll be back with the Giants information for the Monday Night Football game between your Seahawks and the Giants, and that's coming up maybe after this. We'll see.
Dustin, you're oversharing again.
Right.
You are watching the 12-Man Fan Jam Show, a Seahawk Positivity production. Holy shit, it's the third quarter!
Yes, welcome to the second half of episode 1107, the Giants Monday Night Football edition of your 12-Man Fan Jam Show. We're going to have an injury report. We're going to have a weather report. We're going to have a fashion report. We're going to have a sermon of Seahawk positivity. We're going to talk about other games and numbers and all of that. But before we do that, I like to start every third quarter by eating something in a little section I like to call, Hey Moses, what you eating?
What's up? What you eating there?
It's a blood
Hey,
sugar
Moses.
thing, guys.
What are you
It
eating?
is. I'm glad you asked. This one comes with a story. Now, we're playing the Giants. There are a lot of options here with, apple and apple pie and blah, blah, blah. So I was in the store last week and I was on a Monday and I was looking in the snack section. And I was just thinking, as I was going through the grocery store, what am I going to eat that has to do with the Giants and New York and Apple and all that? And then out of the corner of my eye, I found something that was just perfect. This might be the perfect snack that we've ever had on this show because the name of this snack, ladies and gentlemen, is Bobo's.
Nice.
Bobo's apple pie stuffed oak bites. So when I saw this, I said, oh, heck yeah, we got to eat the Bobo's.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds good.
We got, so I've never had these, and Lil Mo's got one, and I'm gonna pull one out here. That's what she
I'm
said.
not gonna like it, but I'm still gonna try it.
He's not excited about it, but we're gonna try it. These little Bobo's apple pie stuffed oat bites, which do not sound good. They sound like something like Karen would give her
Sounds good to
kids.
me.
at soccer practice. But
sounds right to me.
Look at the size of that. That's pretty good. Okay.
Why is it hard?
That's what she said.
She said also.
Are you ready, Lobo? 1, 2, 3. It's not bad.
A cereal ball.
It's like if you left an apple pie out for a few hours, then you went to eat apple pie. That's what this is.
Hopefully Jim didn't find it first.
Kind of gummy, but
that's
not bad. So again, what more could you have than Bobo's?
Does it need some cool whip?
It does need some cool whip.
Yeah.
Why are you saying it like that? It's very gummy. It's sticking to every. It's sticking to every tooth in my mouth. By the way,
all 3 of them.
Both of them, yeah.
I was saying all 2 of them.
Although Dustin's in no place to talk about dentistry at the moment.
No, I'm not.
True.
Yep.
All right.
I was on the IR earlier this week.
So let us continue with all the information we're going to do. First thing we do is we look at the injury report, and we do that by turning to our resident doctor, Dr. Dustin, with the 12-Man Fan Jam Show injury report. Dr. Dustin, tell us news.
All right, so just to remind everybody here, we play Monday night, and when they do that, they don't actually have an injury report as far as who's out and who's doubtful and all that. So we have a who participated and who did not participate in practice list. That's what we have for today because we record this on Fridays. So we're going to start with the New York Giants, the New York Football Giants. Did not participate in practice is tackle Andrew Thomas. He's got a hamstring injury. Limited in practice. Running back Saquon Barkley had an ankle injury. Tight end Daniel Bellinger has a neck injury. Defensive lineman DJ Davidson has an elbow injury. And linebacker Aziz Ojulari has a hamstring injury. Thank you. Appreciate it.
No problem.
It's the hardest part of this segment. It's the names.
Who's only a first round pick
it's
for them,
saying the words, that's the hard part. All right, and then back to full participation in practice for them was outside linebacker Ben Bredesen, whatever his name is. He had a concussion apparently, as it sounds like. Do I? For the Seattle Seahawks, we're on to them. So did not participate in practice this week, or today. Was Artie Burns with his hamstring issue, Trey Brown with the concussion issue, third person in the secondary, Kobe Bryant, had a toe issue. He's still dealing with that. Draymond Jones, defensive end, has a hip problem. He didn't practice. Charles Cross still dealing with his turf toe, which, the toe thing, it sounds like it's nothing, but it's actually a super painful injury, believe it or not.
Oh, yeah.
Linebacker Derek Hall with his knee injury. He didn't practice. Limited in practice, which is good news as far as Will Disley goes because he didn't play last week. So he was limited. He practiced a little bit. Julian Love with his hamstring. Quandre Diggs with his hamstring. If you guys remember last week, both of those guys were missing practice because of hamstring injuries. So I have a feeling this is more of a preventive maintenance type thing to make sure they don't overdo it before the game.
Good.
Phil Haynes still dealing with the calf injury, and then center Evan Brown quad injury, but they're all limited in practice, which is good.
Good.
Now we got full participation in practice for guys that were coming back that have missed some practices previously. Number 1 on that list, Jamal Adams.
Oh, finally.
Yep. Finally. We all know what happened to him with his knee injury, or it was a quadriceps tendon tear.
Yeah.
The point of insertion is right there by the knee, which is why I was saying that.
Of course.
But yeah, so he's back.
We all know.
It's like the FT joint. Everybody knows.
Yeah.
So next on that list,
we're not morons. I mean, we know.
True. Good point.
Well, all the doctors here.
Obviously, we all wear white jackets. So, cornerback. Now, I don't understand why he did this, but apparently Tariq Woolen has decided to change his name to Reek
Reek.
I don't understand. But
Reek,
that's what he
yeah.
wants to go by now. I respect it. I don't get it. Maybe he's
Does
big
that mean
Keon
you
Greyjoy
stink
fan
if you
for
say
Game of
you
Thrones.
reek, though? I don't understand why you
Yeah.
want to. Yeah, it's like Stinky
Yeah.
Woolen now at cornerback.
Stinky Woolen.
Well, he probably
Yeah.
always went by Reek growing up or whatever.
He probably did.
Tariq.
Yeah, that like I said, if that's what he wants to roll with, that's what we're gonna roll with. I don't get it, but Reek Woolen with his chest injury, remember from a couple games ago,
Yeah.
he was full participation in practice. I imagine he's gonna play. DK Metcalf still with the ribs. He's full participation in practice.
Did he what is the ribs injury? Did they ever talk about that for DK?
Well, he got hit in the back pretty good. So it's a
Yeah.
posterior ribs that he got hit in. And that they never really said if he cracked them or if he.
Yeah.
They didn't really say.
He
came
played
back in the
well.
game.
He played well last game, but he didn't look 100% last
Yeah, Lil
week.
Mo
so-
said, and he's
yeah.
right. But I said even DK at 80 or 90 is still better than a lot of guys, and he
Yeah.
doesn't
Yeah.
look like full speed, but he's still very obviously 116 yards catching or 14. Obviously, he was a
Yeah.
factor in the game, but he's just not looking like he's quite DK. But
Well,
who does? So
This is probably, with the practices and stuff. I bet you he's not doing a ton. He's probably,
mhm.
getting
Resting.
the rest he needs and whatnot. Maybe he may have been out there in a red jersey, so nobody pushed him or hit him or anything.
maybe.
Hard telling. Yeah. Then we got Uchenna Nwosu has an ankle injury, but he was full participation in practice. And then Daryl Taylor also apparently has a shin injury, which I wasn't aware of, but he was full participation in practice. So we're doing a lot better as far as injuries go.
Healing.
I think this week when the actual report comes out, I think we're going to look a hell of a lot better this week than we did going into the last game.
And then we have the bye after this, so we'll have a little bit more healing time after that. So good.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Thank you, Dustin. Wonderful injury report. Not as gloom and doom as it's been. So it's going in the right direction like that.
Yep.
And now we turned to weather and fashion by turning to someone from across the pond, as they like to say. That's Matt from merry old England with the 12-man Fan Jam Show weather and fashion report. Oh, Matt.
Yes, thank you, Moses. First things first, Earl, you remember Earl?
I remember.
He has sent an apology that he didn't pick up any of your phone calls.
I appreciate
when
that.
you were trying to ring him last week in order to do the weather.
Thank
He
you.
assumed because I was off that he was off. I have therefore docked him at least all of his pay for the next
I appreciate
6
that.
weeks.
Appreciate that. We'll keep that.
So we've dealt with that for you. So we returned to Monday Night Football, everybody, or as I like to call it, 1:15 in the morning, Tuesday morning football.
Oh, no.
That's what time it's going to be over here. To the scene of Super Bowl greatness, the holy site full of hope and good memories for us Seahawks fans. Now, with all that, I sort of felt that the only way we have to honor that heritage, and the only way really to do that was to take the weather from 10 years or so ago, add 20 degrees to that due to current rates of inflation, and presto, the whole new, totally accurate forecast where nothing can go wrong. It'll be 69 degrees Biden.
Nice.
Sweet.
69 degrees
Beautiful.
Biden with clear skies, no chance of rain, and a gentle breeze from the southeast.
Well, good.
Aw.
We'll still manage to make Myers a liability. Now,
Oh, yeah.
what to wear for this game? Well, we are visiting team in East Rutherford, New Jersey, so not in New York. And yes, I do feel that makes a difference. We've been talking about it earlier on in this podcast, so I think it does make a difference. So this Monday night, why not celebrate some of the famous faces of the great state of New Jersey? Danny DeVito, born in Neptune Township, New Jersey. Maybe we could go as one of his iconic characters, maybe the Penguin from Batman Returns. Which incidentally now is over 30 years old, that film. That makes no sense in my
I
head.
got the cute one. I love when he says
Holy
that.
crap.
That's a
Goes
long
over
time.
all out,
1992. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Or maybe you could go as the amazing illusionist David Copperfield.
Oh!
Yes. All you need to do is make your best friend mysteriously disappear halfway through, or as we like to call it, pulling an Aaron Hernandez.
Whoa. Whoa. Ow.
What? Too soon?
Nah,
Or-
never.
Yikes.
As
It's a low hanging joke right there.
Wait,
Oh, God.
I'm gonna grab it.
That's what she
Or
said.
why not go as New Jersey native and, of course, mega rock superstar himself, Mr. John Bon Jovi.
Oh, yes.
And it's such an easy look to pull off. So all you need, Dennis, is some really tight trousers, Lots of flowing hair, all set in a nice 1980s blow wave style. And of course, you will need to make sure you go with some of his classic hits, including hits like Always, which is how I answer the question, will there be a gap in the center of our defense? Wanted Dead or Alive, or how Russell Wilson must have felt as he was leaving Hard Rock Stadium in Miami last week. And my personal favorite, Living on a Prayer, which is how Jacob feels every time Jason Myers steps up to kick a field goal.
We're halfway there.
Always. Normally to the left. Halfway there, normally to the left. But whatever you decide to wear, do throw a Hawks jersey over that. Do get yourself a Bobo's apple pie and oatmeal, what was it? Cake?
Stuffed apple pie, stuffed oat bites.
Get those. Go with those.
Absolutely.
It's good for halftime food because the cost in East Rutherford will be amazingly.
Absolutely.
So take those with you. Throw a Hawks jersey over that, and you are good to go. With all that being said, it looks like it's going to be perfect Seahawks weather. So Moses, it's back over to you.
Awesome. Thank you, Matty. Now that thing about the hair, I got to tell you, I don't think I quite qualify for the Bon Jovi look.
Yeah.
I have to get a wig.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I've never been compared to Bon Jovi. I've been more compared to Silent Bob from New Jersey. So was Kevin Smith.
I can see that.
Nice. Get you a big old trench coat.
I can see that.
Yep.
Awesome. All right. Wow. Thank you very much, Matt and Dustin. And now we turn to Sassman Mark, who is not here with us as he does his NFL picks for the week in Brick's Picks. All right, Brick's Picks brought to you by Statsman Mark from Beyond. Brick's Picks last week, he went 0-3, which against the spread, which makes him 4-5 overall, but he promised to rebound strong this week. And this week, Brick picked the Patriots plus 6.5 over the Cowboys. He said, take that 6.5 points to the Patriots, add it onto their score, and they're going to beat the Cowboys. He said, you can take 2.5 away from the Bengals. They're still going to beat the Titans. And the Rams-Colts game over under is 48. He said go under the 48 for the Rams and Colts game. So that's what Statsman Mark said for Brick's Picks. And now let's go to church. Yes, this is your self-appointed Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Allen Church Seahawk Positivity. How is everyone this evening?
You look like Billy Bob Thornton and Bad Santa right now. I don't know why.
And I feel like him. Let me tell you.
I'm going to get a drink.
All right, so it's so nice. It's so nice to have the new look. Do you like my new haircut? I should just take a little bit off the side and I don't know. Anyway, it's so nice to have sermons after victories. It really is so much more fun. Even Cleolanda has been on her better behavior after a couple of victories for the Seahawks until she heard the team was traveling back to New York. And then she mumbled something about how nobody wants a war and never go against the family again. And she went off screaming, "It was you, Fredo. I know it was you. You broke my heart. You broke my heart." And I haven't seen her since Wednesday, but I digress. Friends, so glad to once again here as we continue to move towards the promised land. And as we head out, we are still basking in the warm glow of Seahawk positivity, a reading from the book of the 2023 NFL season, chapter 4, verses 7-12. They did victoriously head eastward, and they were then upon the land of Big Apples. They came upon the land where liberty is a statue, and they met giants who lived in a garden state, and they wanted to put a giant hurt upon us. But the power of Seahawk positivity was too strong, and they did fall mighty into the garden state. and they were defeated, and there was much rejoicing. Yes, this is the power, my brethren. If you can feel the power of Seahawk positivity, let's hear an amen nice and loud.
Amen.
Yes. And if you believe in the power to give our defense the ability to make Daniel Jones feel smaller than Dustin, let's hear an amen nice and loud.
Wow.
Amen.
Amen. And if you believe in the power to give our offense the ability to score more than John Bon Jovi at a haircut bands convention, a hair bands convention, not a hair club for men. Let's hear it. I'm in nice and loud.
Either or, I think he's gonna be all right.
I'm in.
My new haircut's messing with my eyes. I don't know why. Friends, that is the power. We're loud and proud, my friend. 12s. They may think they're giants, but they are just small potatoes for us. Small, yummy potatoes. It's time to eat and take a bite out of that big apple. This is your self-appointed Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Allen Church Seahawk Positivity. Go forth, my brethren. Go forth and spread the good word of Seahawk Positivity. Praise Large and praise Cortez. Praise Walter Jones and praise Easley. And go Hawks. Coming up next, it's our predictions, our prognostications, and our game balls for that game between your Seattle Seahawks and those New York Giants. Forget about it. We'll be right back after this.
You are watching the 12-Man Fan Jam Show, a Seahawk Positivity production. It's the fourth quarter, bitches.
Yes, welcome to the fourth and final quarter of episode 1108, the Monday Night Football New York Giants edition of your Seattle Seahawks 12-Man Fan Jam Show for the Seattle Seahawks. Seahawks are 1.5 point favorites. The over-under is 47.5. Monday night, 8:15 on the East Coast, 5:15 on the West Coast. And Matt, you said 1:15 in the morning.
1:15 on Tuesday morning.
Tuesday morning. So we're going to do our predictions, our prognostications, and our game balls for that very game from ourselves. And, of course, the Team Posse, who is leading by 10 points in the Posse Prediction Challenge. But before we do all that, I like to start the fourth quarter, with a little drink. And what you drinking? Yeah. Moses, what you drinking? Son of a bitch! Give me a drink!
Moses, what you drinking?
Oh, thanks for asking. Well, this was an easy choice because they're playing New York. So I got a Manhattan, and I believe, Dustin, you did as well. You have a Manhattan?
I do too. I got the Jefferson's Crafted Manhattan barrel finished cocktail.
Mine is on the rocks.
It says it's made with straight bourbon whiskey, vermouth, and barrel-aged bitters.
Mine says also made with straight rye whiskey, Canadian whiskey, port wine, sweet vermouth, and bitters as well. So I know.
And semen.
68 proof.
God knows what else is in there.
Now, I'm not a whiskey guy, so I don't know how much I'm going to like
either.
This, but I'll give it a shot.
I don't know if I'm
not a bourbon guy, I should say.
I like rum. I
like rum too. I'm a rum drinker.
Yeah.
Matt, you
me too. Yeah,
Matt, your family, if I may say so, you owned a bar, is that right? A pub?
Used to.
Yeah.
I was a bar owner for a couple of years or so.
Yeah.
Really?
So,
I had no idea.
If you got a cork, I've got a cork. Ready? So you can hear it, right?
Let's find out. Hold on.
Did you catch that?
This is gonna be a long segment.
Did you hear that? So here's my
You
question.
already did it? No, my headphones came out.
You have to watch the show. You're gonna have to watch the show.
It's boring.
So it's a boring. Manhattan. Okay, so he's already pouring. I was gonna ask you guys and ask Dustin if he wanted to just chug it out the bottle.
No, don't be doing that now.
Okay.
I mean, if you want.
Am I taking a shot? Am I taking a shot?
Drink it out of the bottle.
Am I taking a shot?
Chug.
I did this, or I can drink it out the bottle. I can double
do whatever.
What do you want to do?
Drink
with skills.
Ladies and gentlemen, drink responsibly.
Yes.
If you're watching.
Should I take a shot or should I put it in
anywhere?
I would pour it in a glass because you don't want your lips all around the end of it because that will change the flavor of it as it goes on. It gets all horrible and crusty.
Gotcha.
If anybody knows, Matt knows.
I know.
Is that enough for you all? Are you not
careful how you wrap your lips around
That's enough. That's enough.
All right. Dustin, cheers, my man.
I feel like this is like a shot and a half.
Chug,
Here we
Cheers.
go. Ready?
chug. It's a lot.
Sweet.
Yeah,
Sweet.
that's
Sweet.
bourbon.
That's the bourbon and vermouth.
Mercy.
It's just like the back of your throat says, I'm on fire. I'm on
It's a
fire
lot,
right
isn't it?
now.
I love it. I
That's
love
what I'm
I feel like you should have
You know what? I'm going to be perfectly honest here. I'm not an alcoholic drinker at all. I don't drink alcohol at all.
Used to
That
be.
was the word, Dustin, I would describe that. And you are, you're living by a little bit more than I do for sure. I would call that smooth.
Yeah, it was smooth for what it is. Yeah,
That's
flavor wise, I'm just not a bourbon guy.
No,
But
that
yeah.
wasn't bad. That wasn't as bad as I thought it'd be.
Yeah.
Well,
it was pretty smooth.
I promise next time I'm over in Seattle, I will have a Manhattan at the bar.
Oh, all
I
right.
love a Manhattan.
I'll share one with you.
We'll send this to you because it's time for Little Mo's Madden Challenge. Gosh, Little Mo, I'm so sorry. I don't know why I didn't put that on there. Little Mo's Madden
It's
Challenge.
the booze.
Last week,
Yep.
I'll say that. Last
can't
week,
handle it.
you said the Seahawks were going to win 26-17 and they won
I
37
didn't
to
say
27.
nothing.
Well, your
Madden said it.
game. Madden said
it.
Madden said 26-17. We won 37-27. That's pretty good. And every time they've won, we've won. And every time you said we were going to lose, we lost, right?
Yes.
So, Little Mo, what
Yeah.
did Madden do for the Giants Seahawk game?
So there's some crazy things that are going to happen. I just wanted to be clear. I did not do any of this. Okay.
You set it up and it just goes.
Some things are just realistic and everything. Okay.
I know what's coming on that response.
So first drive, Graham Gano with a 32-yard field goal for the Giants. Kobe Bryant with an interception, and then Bobby Wagner with an interception.
Ooh.
Isaiah
that'd be cool.
Hodgins, I think his name is, a 22-yard touchdown, 10-0 Giants at half.
Ooh.
Losers.
Zach
Yeah.
Charbonnet 3-yard touchdown run, which they have every game. I don't know why, but 10-7 Giants. Seahawks take a 14-10 lead in the fourth quarter with a 3-yard touchdown to Noah Fant.
Much better.
Harris Campbell, a 21-yard touchdown, makes it 17-14 with 2:03 left in the game. 35-yard field goal for Jason Myers with 14 seconds. So it's going to
Yay,
overtime.
tied it up. 17 apiece.
First drive of the game, the Giants are driving, and a fumble caused by Jordan Brooks and recovered by Jordan Brooks.
Nice.
And this is with 0.4 seconds left. Jason Myers misses a 34-yard field goal. The game ends in a tie.
I knew there'd be a miss in there. I knew there'd be a miss in there because you said.
I promise I didn't do anything. I just watched it, and he missed it for the win.
So this is a tie game, 17-17.
I bet he loved it. I bet he loved it too.
Yeah,
Sometimes
did
it's just
too.
too realistic.
Something is just too much.
So that's the final score. It's tie. It's a
Yeah.
tie.
Give us
What
some
was the
stats
score?
from that
17
game.
each.
Oh, yeah. Stats for the game.
17
Geno
each.
Smith. Yeah. Geno Smith, 24 for 33 for 246 yards and a touchdown. No interceptions. Daniel Jones, 20 for 40 for 298 yards and 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions.
Ooh.
Kenneth Walker, 19 rushes for 82 yards. Geno Smith, 7 rushes for 23 yards. Charbonnet had a touchdown rushing. Saquon, 25 rushes for 112 yards.
Ooh.
Daniel Jones, 8 rushes for 22 yards. Tyler Lockett, 7 receptions for 65 yards. JSN, 7 receptions for 89 yards and a touchdown catch
Good for him.
Noah Fant. Isaiah Hodges, 9 receptions for 121 yards and a touchdown. I don't even know who that is.
Who?
We'll find out
Isaiah
Sunday.
Hodges.
We'll find out Monday, apparently.
Yeah.
Paris Campbell, 4 receptions, 64
Paris
yards and a
France.
touchdown.
Paris Hilton.
Paris Hilton.
That catch was so hot. It was hot.
Oh my god, it's like totally awesome.
Sorry.
Yeah, what's Walmart?
Reek Wallen led a team with 11 tackles. Tackles for loss.
Ooh.
My camera fell.
The world's biggest fan.
Tackles for loss for Draymond Jones, Jamal Adams, interceptions for Bobby Wagner and Kobe Bryant. Forced fumble by Jordan Brooks, also recovered by Jordan Brooks. Sacks for return to Mario Edwards, Bobby Wagner, and Jordan Brooks.
Oh.
Giants' leading tackler was Bobby Okereke, I think is how you say it. It's not Okereke. He corrected us. It's Okereke with 10. Tackles for loss for Isaiah Simmons, Kayvon Thibodeau, Bobby Okereke, and Ashard Robinson. Sacks for Kayvon Thibodeau, and half a sack for Azeez Ojulari and Adoree Jackson.
Aziz Ansari? I thought he was a comedian.
Ojulari. And his brother's name is BJ Ojulari, by the way.
So, the important thing is this thing has never been wrong, and it's calling for a tie Monday night, which means we'll be up till late.
Field goal at the end.
And Matt will be up till 5 in the morning. So
Matt will not
actually. I played that game. I played that game myself, and I piloted. And Noah Fan had 3 touchdowns, so I'm hoping that's the way it goes in real life.
We'll see. I'd rather have that than the 17-17 tie. But thank you, Little Mo. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. 10-0 at halftime too.
Yeah, that's not good. Now we'll go to the predictions. Seahawks a 1.5 favorite. The over/under is at 47.5. Team Posse Jose 37-23 Seahawks. Prognostication: Jamal gets a sack in my game ball just for making it back from that injury because to quote him, "Mama's watching. Go Hawks." Mike Pascal, Hawks 27, G-Men 23, Game Ball K9, prediction Walker walks in the end zone twice, 2 touchdowns for Walker. Chris, Monday night against the Giants, Hawks 32, Giants 24, prognostication JSN gets a touchdown. Game ball to Walker.
I hope so.
This is the way. Andy, 35-21 Seattle, game ball to Lockett, who will get my prognostication of 100-plus receiving yards. Jimmy, Hawks are locked in on offense, and we're getting some guys back on defense. I don't see it as a blowout, but I'll go 27-16 Hawks. Prognostication DK with a touchdown, game ball to Walker, play the hot hand. I agree. Becky, 23-20 Seahawks, touchdown Lockett, game ball Lockett. Statsman Mark, Seahawks, and now for our team. Statsman Mark, Seahawks 30-23, interception Witherspoon, game ball Diggs. Will. Prediction, Seahawks 27, Giants 13. Prognostication, Seattle forces Daniel Jones to commit 3 turnovers, fumbles, and/or interceptions. Game ball to Jordan Brooks, which in Little Mo would be the case because he recovered that fumble in overtime for your game. Little Mo, what you got for us? Don't say tie. That would be sad.
Well, I'm not that stupid. I know it's not going to happen.
Okay.
Watch it happen now.
If it happens now,
You're off the podcast next week. You're off the island.
You're off the island.
I'm going to go. The offense is terrible. I know our defense is terrible, but I'm going to go 37-20.
All right.
Seahawks, obviously. I'm going to go Tyler Lockett touchdown.
All right.
But I'm going to go Kenneth Walker for game ball. Because I need points. So one of them's got to work.
Good call. Maddie, hello.
Hello. I'm not playing that game, Jacob. I'm not going for the points. I'm just going for the old fancy pants kind of predictions and stuff.
Good for you, buddy.
And that's why he has 2 points.
He's going with the Kings predictions over there.
Let me be quite clear now. I own the bottom of that leader table. All right. That was my spot. My spot all the way through.
Back.
And I'm getting it back. So I'm going to go for the tie. No, I'm going to go for Seahawks 20. I'm going for Seahawks 23, Giants 17.
All right.
I'm going to give my game ball to Jamal Adams. And my prognostication is, and he may not do all of this, but 3 sacks on Daniel Jones.
All right. Dustin, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. That Manhattan was smooth.
It was smooth. It wasn't bad. It's kind of like, to me, like I don't like tequila, but Patron goes down smooth. Or I'm not a big vodka guy, but Grey Goose goes down smooth. It's definitely a smooth alcohol.
Know what you're saying.
Grey Goose is nice.
We're speaking adult. You'll get there.
Mama.
Son, the kid, the adults are talking. Go ahead, Dustin.
Yeah.
I don't want to be here.
Neither do I.
It's late for you.
It is early for me.
Early for you. Yeah. I really, really want to see the pass rush get going. So I'm starting with a game ball this time, and I'm going to give it to Nwosu.
Ooh.
I want him to have a solid game. I want him to get to the quarterback. So that's my game ball. I'm assuming he's going to do that.
All right.
I want to keep on with the Seahawks trend of scoring 30 plus points per game. I don't want to go hog wild with it. So I'm going to say they get 31 and that the Giants are held to 17.
Oh, okay.
And then I know prognostications and Gino's kind of off the table for a lot of that stuff, but I want to say he throws 3 touchdowns. And that's
Yeah, that works. 3 touchdown passes?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, absolutely.
Gino,
yeah, you can use them on prognostications.
Yeah.
Now, do you want 3 touchdown passes or 3 touchdowns, passes, and runs?
3 touchdown passes specifically.
Passes. Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Oh, look, it's my turn. So you can all fall asleep. Last week's game was played in front of the Super Bowl champion Seahawks of 10 years ago. 10 years ago. Wow. But the 2023 Seahawks lived up to their champion predecessors by putting up a convincing win over an inferior opponent, something the 2013 team did so much that we really got spoiled. The 2023 Seahawks hit the road this week to the scene of Super Bowl crime. The Seahawks laid on Peyton Manning and his Broncos back in Super Bowl 48 as they go to take on the Giants at MetLife. The Giants are coached by Brian, is it Daboll? Daboll, who clearly looks like a guy that showed up and invited to your cookout to drink all your beer and eat all your hamburgers before sneaking off with a 6-pack under his arms back to his mother's basement where he lives. But I digress. Yeah. Offensively,
I would do.
They're led by Daniel. Was he ever really worth the money? Jones, who's looking more and more like Eli Manning's doppelganger every day. It makes me wonder. It's almost like he's absorbing the former Giants quarterback's ability to be mediocre in regular season games. But we'll move on. The Giants are only scoring 14 points per game and giving up over 32 points a game. But at home on Monday Night Football, now's the time to show the NFL the Giants were forced to be dealt with. Not this week. Watch my game ball, the little spoon, Devin Witherspoon. He's going to get his first INT. That's my prognostication. Oh, this Monday night game, it's time to take a bite out of the Big Apple, y'all. Seahawks win 37, Giants 17. Okay.
Nice.
Took a bite out of the Big Apple, baby.
What did Woolen call it? Or I'm sorry, Diggs called him. Was it a teaspoon or something on social media?
Little Spoon.
That was pretty funny.
They're calling him Little Spoon. That's what he wants to know. Little Spoon. And it is time to take our little spoons and dig ourselves a hole and get out of here.
Whoa. She said that's what I call.
I don't know. That's all I can do. The Manhattan's getting to me, apparently. Anyway.
Yeah.
It's time to put this show to a sad close. We hope you learned something and maybe you had a little laugh or two. On behalf of Matt, from Harold England, Little Mo, Dustin, Statsman Mark, wherever he may be, we'll be back. This is your self-appointed Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Allen Church of Seahawk Positivity. Saying until next time, as always, y'all, go Hawks.
Go Hawks.
Take a bite out of the Big Apple, baby.
And get yourself a Manhattan. They're not bad.
And they're smooth.
Yeah.
Seahawks win. Forget about it.
Forget it.